Alright guys, it is a Tuesday, it is a Monday, and it's going to be casting around 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night here at Eastern Standard Time, and it will be iCup, it'll be iCup TV you're tuning into, and it'll be iCup Fits, and this will be week 1 of iCup Clan League, week 1 between 7X Inactive Team versus the Russian Fun Pro Gaming Team, competing for 7X Inactive Team. It will be this yellow Protoss. It'll be Lisyonok. I'm just gonna call him Lee. Anyway, but he'll be averaging 151 this game, and it will be on Fighting Spirit, and spawning in the bottom right, excuse me. It will be the reps Largo. Largo, I believe, forfeited his match. I don't speak Russian, but I believe that was just a forfeit. He realized he was way far behind, and yeah, Fighting Spirit. Interesting map. We do have interesting spawn locations. Protoss is probably a little bit more favored. But not to say that Terran won't do the standard Fighting Spirit build. Standard Fighting Spirit build probably for Terran is the 3-base. Just because, you know, your natural's really easy to scare, you know, not that huge of a choke. And then all you have to do is, you know, get up your mech army on this bridge. And then hold this area off. You don't need to wall this area off. All you have to do is wall this area off with 3 depots or whatever you want. And it's pretty easy to secure. Protoss, on the other hand, but the reason why I say Protoss might be a little favored is just because Terran has to expand to his opponent, which makes him more, you know, further away. I mean, compared to where the Protoss is started, you know, he's expanding away. So it's, you know, favored positioning is going to be for Protoss. APM wise, you know, Largo is averaging 242. So, you know, I mean, 273 to me, even higher than last game. And that's a near 120 APM difference right there. And that's going to be pretty astronomical. But we did see Largo did ultimately lose there due to lack of decision making, as he didn't get enough with Spider-Mind. But we will be seeing the standard scouting probes coming out of scouting workers coming out of both players here. Will they get the right spawn location? It looks like no. It looks like he's going cross first. But you know, thankfully, or not thankfully, I'm not biased towards Lee or anything. But Lee will be getting his or she will be getting that quick scout off, which is nice to know. You know, it's nice to know what your opponent's doing. But probably 1 factory fast expand or 2 factory fast expand, either or would be the probably end up being the build, but we're gonna have to see though. But we will be seeing Cybercore timing as well coming out of here as well. I'm gonna quickly pause for a quick second, guys. Alright, sorry about that. I thought my computer was freezing for a second, but we will be seeing standard Cybercore around 235. You know, pretty 240 probably around finishing that time. So a little bit. I mean, you know, standard time. You might be a little bit more delayed, but we'll be seeing a factory coming up as well. So we're seeing, you know, the same kind of. We're not seeing any kind of cheese coming out of either player right now, which is nice. You know, I wasn't really focusing really much on Lee last game. You know, as much. I was like, oh, it looks like he's doing a 2-gate expand. No, it was actually a 2-gate. So I will now look out for that incoming build here. But we are pretty seeing standard. This does seem pretty standard for at least Fighting Spirit. And by the way, guys, I hate this map. I've seen so many games of Fighting Spirit. It's just the same generic game most of the time. But, you know, not to say that you guys don't enjoy it, not to say that I don't enjoy casting. It's just Fighting Spirit. It's my least favorite map here. But SCV on probe action here. But if the probe looks like it might die right here, it will. Nice little victory coming out of Largo right there. So, you know, just setting up a little bit better for right there, and that SCV will go home safely right here, and we'll be seeing a robo facility coming in. Also, if you guys are wondering on the mini map, this guy is Just Ice. He was the Terran player in the 2v2 series that we had, but he's just spectating this game. He might be the coach for 7X. I'm not quite sure, but he has been quite a handful of these replays before, so might be just checking on how 7X is doing. But regardless, if you guys are wondering, Brood War sometimes doesn't have observer maps, so what they end up doing is they end up sharing map vision, because you can do that with Brood War. You can share vision. You can't show you right now, but you can share vision with other players' allies as well, and you can ally share vision, so you can just see what's going on. You can't see what they're building, etc. Not like the replay feature, but it's a quick way to figure out what's going on. That's how a lot of people will often. You know, earlier in the Brood War days, what you would see a lot is without the observer use map settings maps. Observer UMS maps, you would see a lot of these kind of things. You see, even in like Korean VODs, you see them have the CC up. And I've always wondered, oh, proxy eBay. I don't know what's up with that, but I believe that did get scouted by that Dragoon over there. But I don't know what kind of crazy shenanigans that's for. But maybe to spot the high ground, or I don't even know. Proxy, but he will be doing this normal push right here, coming out It's a standard procedure to go out and he'll getting up those mines as well. So he might be pushing out. He might just use this for more defensive. You know, he can decide. If he did go for a push though, you know, that might do a lot more damage than it actually might have done. You know, he's only only have a 1 gateway here. We're gonna be seeing shuttle. We might be seeing Reaver tech is what we're gonna be seeing. We're gonna be seeing Reaver drop coming up as well right here. So fairly shortly, we might even see Reaver or shuttle speed coming up as well. I'll keep an eye out on that. So now will Largo be able to deal with this though? You know, sometimes being unanticipated for Reaver drop can do some bad damage, but you know, if he initially pushed here with the standard push right here with around 5, maybe 5 or 6 Marines with 1 or 2 tanks, depending on when you want to push out, you know, that could have done a significant toll on this army right here. There's only maybe, by the time he pushed it, probably 4 Dragoons would have been there, or 3. I think, you know, he might have been able to do enough damage if he maybe did that, but it looks like he might be, no, that's not an army, that's just a whole bunch of Spider-Mines in a kind of, like, ascending order going up, but probably enough though. But you know, to quickly talk about the spectator thing, I kind of wanted to share my thoughts. What would happen though if you damage it enough and then you infested it as third? Like that would be pretty awesome though. But he just did lose a Dragoon there. He might lose another one. He did take a good amount of hits right there. And I'm not sure if he quite realized there's so many Spider-Mines here, but thankfully not losing too many of them. We'll be slightly pushing up here, but we'll be eventually killing off all these Spider-Mines here. Is in range of that barracks right here and doesn't have siege mode quite yet. He should be finishing up right now. So he should be okay. He does have a couple of Marines here as well, but he should be start sieging up, which eventually this will have to go down. And, you know, there's really no way for Protoss to really go engage this right now. But, you know, this should be still, you know, giving off indicators right now that they're, you know, the Dragoon numbers really isn't that high. It really should be telling them something, especially if he has a Vulture over here. It should be telling them a Reaver or something kind of tech happening, either DT drop or something, but he will be getting up a missile turret. But I believe the shuttle will just ultimately just graze by that at the same time, though. And I'm not quite sure if he's going to be ready for this Reaver job. It will have to depend on his, you know, evacuation methods right here. We'll be getting up his armory academy as well here. We'll get the Reaver off, though, but, you know, not really being that effective with it. I don't know why he's not really attacking the mineral line with it. Is he going to lose the Reaver? He does lose the Reaver. You know, definitely not coming good out of Lee right there. Losing that Reaver, that could have looked very differently if he exploited this mineral line over here. Maybe even over here. The main was completely susceptible. He could have gone in and around, and then that would have been game over at that point in time, but he didn't know about that. So it's very easy to sit in my little casting booth, as I've always said. But it's very easy to do that. Sometimes you won't know, and it's just lack of what's going on. Necessarily a bad player, but we'll have Reaver. We'll have a shuttle up. Is he getting shuttle speed? I don't believe he does. He wasn't going all in with that shuttle, which is okay. And he will be, eventually putting up, trying to repair the barracks. It's kind of like what you do for one barracks expand, except there's no bunker. He's not repairing a bunker. He's repairing a barracks. But similar stuff. Still no expand though. Definitely. I think Lee's going all in. He definitely is going to do these one base plays. Try to break over his opponent. He is 3. My miss is like not working right now. No, like literally speaking. Okay, no, it's still not working. Hold on. If I could press the pause button. No. Alright, sorry about that. Literally speaking, I'm trying to actually fix my mess right here, and again, still not working. I would never imagine in the middle of a cast, like I'd have to stop because my mouse is starting to chew out. If you guys are wondering, I'm using a Razor Naga, and if you get, I have 2 pets in my house, which are shed very, very frequently, a ferret and a dog, and it gets hair particles stuck in the little sensor thing, which makes it go out of whack, but because it's really sensitive to pretty much anything, but that's one of the downsides. But he will be double expanding, though. Interesting. I mean, he does have a contain setup, out of Largo right here, and I don't think if Largo doesn't do any kind of vulture harass or anything, he's gonna be set back here. He's getting high tank numbers, but I don't know what Largo's doing, like, specifically wrong. He's just, like, I think he's playing too passive with his units. If he pushes up, this would be different. Oh my god, my mouse. Oh my god. Oh my god. Because I can't click on the minimap here. Okay. This is actually literally driving me nuts right here. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? That might help. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm using my desk. I'm screwing my mouse pad because there's too many particles on it. Too many hair pieces. But he will be double expanding. So this is kind of like a trademark Lee build, I guess, is what we're seeing here. He likes to one base and then double expand behind it, as he definitely likes to do this kind of one basing player here, and he will be doing that funky pylon with Forge Wall up. You can't get away with 3 pylons over in this scenario, but you know, maybe putting down a forge because he doesn't have one and he's gonna put up cannons. But cannons in this matchup, I don't feel like are not that necessary as much. It's good. Tanks often will start showing, but this is what I'm talking about. He's gonna be able to get that center map control and potentially might expand over here. But he might often take this expand as well. That would be an option as well. And getting up, you know, a couple more spider mines here, just being a little bit more pesky right now. And slowly pushing across the map here. Now, will it be enough? I mean, that is going to be a lot of mech units, though, and we still don't see any upgrades from either player right here. So, it's pretty much anyone's game at this point in time. Still no armory, and he's only off a 4 factory. And getting up an armory finally. What's he going for it, though? I'm not sure quite. I don't think Lee should be engaging us right now. I don't really think it's a smart move at all right there. It is too many spider mines without an observer, you know, in preparation for this. I don't think it's going to work too well. But hey, that's okay. That is a lot. That is a lot of bullshit right here. 107 supply to 67. So actually, you know, Lee's actually doing pretty bad right now, and he's getting completely getting surrounded by massive vulture. And I don't know if he's gonna be able to do enough. He did double expand though, so the longer he's able to sit back and macro, the better scenarios. But if once they start shelling on the natural, it's gonna be very hard to deal with this right here. And he's ultimately gonna lose, even SCP getting in the action right there. Did he even get the kill? No, he did not. But these Dragoons will ultimately fall here. And I think this is a time where Terran's gonna want to, you know, expand. I think Lee decided to go for went for a build where he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go 1 base, but you know, Terran was off of 2 base for a considerable amount of time right here, which is now what's happening. I mean, I didn't really see where his army was mainly composed of, but now he's, you know, outside this area here, which is gonna be very annoying to deal with right here. And now, is he getting Arbiter tech? He's finally getting Citadel. His tech is super delayed, like it honestly is right now, I feel like. And you know, we'll try to push over here, but will there be enough? I think there's too many vultures to tank DPS over here, and I think maybe 1 or 2 tanks would go, but then now there's 2 or 3 more there just to replace it. And all these Dragoons are falling here, and this game is looking very grim for Lee right now. And I don't really see how he can come back from it. Now tank's even going to be in the mineral line, literally speaking. Yeah, he's like actually in a very good position right here. I'm not quite sure if he knows about the 3rd, but you know, it doesn't really matter. You know, once they're outside and once they're in like your main area, this is gonna be very hard to deal with. He's off of, you know, 6, 7 gateways. You know, it's pretty standard. I mean, he could be off of 6, off of 2 bases if it's fully saturated. We'll have to transfer this probe back in the main base here, coming out of the Terran front right here. What are we seeing right now? We're seeing +1 upgrades. We'll also be seeing another 3rd CC coming up as well, and 5 factories. And you know, 5 factories to 7 gateways. That's not a scenario where you want to be in TVP. And we'll finally get up these cans, but a little too late, I think. It's going to be just too many bolts going to be making their way up here. But will he be able to break through this, though? He will even be getting a missile turret here for the potential Arbiter coming up eventually here. We'll be finally getting charge speed, zealot speed, but significantly delayed. And, you know, all of Lee's, you know, tech is pretty much kind of gone. He likes to do these cheesy openings, but, you know, it really sets him back for the late game, especially when that cheese doesn't work. Or 1 basing. That's why 1 basing isn't really that common anymore, is because it's all in if you go 1 basing most of the time. We'll be finally getting up his starport. He's getting his starport up before he's even getting up his Stargate, I feel like. Yeah, he's still getting Templar Archives. He doesn't even have a Stargate yet, which is definitely not where he wants to be right now. And looks like eventually he's going to be able to push in the main here and continue just to, you know, find a sweet spot out of the range of the cannons, and we'll just eventually stop off this Nexus right here. And, you know, he's only mining 2 probes off that base right here, and Terran has expanded to the 3rd, or to that 5 or 6 o'clock position, and they will be sieging here, but there's no way he's going to be able to go through this tight wall off here. He's going to need to do kind of some Reaper harass or something along those lines. I mean, he does have Reaper tech, but, you know, he's continuing to produce more observers, which, you know, I'm not quite sure if he really needs if he didn't lose them all, because there's really nothing he can do at this point in time. And I think he's just going to go for it. There's a GG by Lee, and that will tie up the series, I believe. And this will be the end of it. If you guys don't see another VOD, this is because of, you know, just lack of replays being uploaded or whatever. I've done my best to try to, you know, make them all good, so I'll look through my replay pack to see if I can find game number 3. So, theoretically speaking, I don't know because right now Largo won that game, so I don't really know what to really think about it. But, you know, keep in mind, though, that Reps already won, so it's not a huge deal. Reps has already won this series because it's been, even if 7X did come back and win a series, which is great. I mean, I'm going to cast it, but not to say that it's really that needed. But, hey, whatever, regardless. But for fits of the game here, you know, what put Lee, of just these 2 games, I mean, he might just be doing this because he's playing Largo. But what we've been seeing, though, is what he went for a 2-gate pressure. It worked, but his tech was still significantly delayed. We saw a 3-minute delayed cyber core and pretty much all the tech that went with that after in the first game. And now we saw in this game, you know, we saw for a regular, you know, 2-gate Dragoon pressure with range. But he did a 1-gate, well, yeah, we saw a 1-gate with range. Then he went straight into Reaver drop play, which is okay, but he never got shuttle speed. He lost the shuttle. He lost the Reaver, excuse me, and he could have done a lot more economic damage. And when you're doing that build, you know, I don't like doing that build because you have to put yourself out there in order to do economic damage. That's not a scenario where I want to be, where I have to have that build has to work for this scenario. I don't like those builds because it's really kind of, it kind of comes up to be like kind of like war, where it's like, okay, will he have turrets up? Is his build going to be workaround in eBay? Will he have those turrets up? Will he have detection out? For example, if you're going for a DT drop or something like this. DT's a little bit more, you know, controversial, and I think DTs are okay, but again, this is Reaver drop. So he went for that build, which is fine. So I've seen players do it all the time. So you're going to have that build, but he didn't do any economic damage, which put him behind because he went off tech. That's what it does. That's when you go with that Reaver. That's when you go for those harassing units. That's why DTs are more acceptable, because you get Storm regardless. So if you go for quick Templar Archives, you're gonna get Storm anyway. So, you know, pumping out 1 or 2 DTs to do significant damage and continue to pump if you're doing a lot of damage. Otherwise, it's not a big commitment. I mean, otherwise you're getting a Robo Support Bay. You get Robo Support Bay is like 200, 100, or something like that, and then you have to get 200, 200 with the Reaver, then all the Scarabs that go with that, so that's 15 per Scarab, let's get 5 of them, which would be, mental math, man, like 80 minerals with that, and then $200 with the shuttle, 200 minerals with the shuttle, so that really put them bad compared to the DT drop. But, you know, beside the point, DT drop would have been much more acceptable. I think that would have been something much more acceptable. And the problem was, you know, his tech was delayed. He never got up to the Arbiter tech. We saw the Starport come up faster than the Stargate itself, which is kind of concerning. But, you know, hey, I mean, looking at the score right here, we see a pretty significant score difference here. Resources, we see definitely large. Has, you know, Largo had nearly, I believe, a 5K score increase with that as well right here. Structures is a useless tab. Units is, you know, again, a pretty useless tab, but we did see, you know, surprisingly, Largo, did Largo win here? My game is kind of switched colors. No, I believe Largo is actually ahead. So, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning into iCup TV. We'll be going on to series number 5 or series number 4, game number 3. So, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.